another one that I made up, in Juneau, our capital. And let's see, you play some guitar, you play piano. Do you play this kind of music on guitar? Some?
My daughter's Irish step dance.
Oh,
We get
nice.
amazing fiddlers sometimes at professions,
I bet.
competitions.
I bet.
I
Well,
love acoustic music
yeah.
anytime.
Well, I can tell you that it's not too late to learn. If I can play, anybody can play. I started in my 20s, and I can also say that even if I'm having a really bad day, other people who play who have really bad days, you play, you're going to be happy and happier no matter what. And I say that to mention that there's a guy in Juneau, who used to live in Fairbanks, who plays the guitar. I don't have a guitar here. Plays the banjo, plays the stand-up bass. He calls square dances. Happy guy. He also had a fiddle, had a mandolin. His day job, he teaches to this day. He teaches first and second grade. He better be happy. And it goes back almost 18 years now. I saw him the day after Christmas in the Juneau post office, and he was not looking happy. Glum, sad, all of that and worse. His name's Jack Fontenelle. I said, Jack, how you doing? He said, not good. I said, not good? He said, yeah, house burned down. Christmas Eve, while he and his girlfriend were out visiting and eating, they heard sirens. It was for their cabin. And they lost virtually everything. And in his case, he had these really nice instruments. Guitar, banjo, bass, and he had other instruments. And I would think, having spent a little bit of time here today, there's summer and there's also fall, winter, and spring, and people know people, and if something goes wrong, I bet people here are pretty good for taking care of each other. I mean, I was even looking for this, about this, like the Keith Fest that's going on. If something happened to that fella, and it's like, you remember stuff, and that you keep things close. So when Jack had his fire, within a week, people raised money, so we had a nice guitar. If you've been to Juneau, it's all water and mountains. It's 30,000 people, but there's not like 10,000. You can't drive from there to from here to Clayton or down to Watertown. It's like, imagine Watertown, and to go from Watertown to Syracuse, you get on a plane or you go on a boat, or to go even to Oswego or anything. You get on, you can't drive anywhere. That's it. It's 30,000, but it's a small 30,000, and it's the capital. There's not a lot of places to live. People found Jack and his girlfriend, now his wife Jen, a place to live. What I did, about 3 weeks later, I was leading a writing workshop, middle of January, just like I was just doing here. And there was a prompt which led into me writing a poem on something I was thinking about, which is what those instruments sounded before they burnt up. Because they had to make a last sound. So I wrote a poem, Burnt Down House, for Jack Fontenelle. It goes like this. The night of the cabin fire, amidst the cupboards and kitchenware, closets and clothes, when the flames came picking, I like to think of the two guitars and mandolin, banjo, bass, and fiddle might have done their skins a moment to make the craziest, most raucous caterwauling noise. Enough riotous jabberwock fuel a dozen generations of old-time string bands. Before slipping back into maple, to smoke hot and right, the instrument's last bright Denali festival of sound. Wrote that poem. I didn't write it right there. I wrote a draft and I went through it and made it better. Printed it out. Gave Jack a copy. Not my best friend, but a good friend. So I heard he had that poem. He liked it. He had it on his refrigerator door at the new place. A few months later, I ran into him. We talked. He was doing better, I said, Jack, I make up fiddle tunes. If you want, I'll make up a fiddle tune for you called Burnt Down House. And he might have said, he was somebody different. Stop right there, fiddling poet. The poem was okay, but I don't need a fiddle tune. I'm done with that burnt down house. But he said, yeah, you can make up a fiddle tune, burnt down house. So I asked him the big question with this kind of music. This isn't classical music, this is fiddle tune. So I said, key of A or key of D? What do you want? And he said, key of D. So I made up this tune, and I go everywhere. This is when I'm with the high schoolers and middle schoolers. Elementary schoolers don't get this story. Middle schoolers and high schoolers, all these, how they're so intrigued by fire. They think this song is better than any poem. It's their favorite part of what I do. Burnt Down House for Jack Fontenelle. Tune I made up for him. Burnt down house. Burnt down house. Burnt down house. Burnt down house. High schoolers like that. They think that's like, I say, it's not really a poem, that's a song. They say, that's your best. Let's see.